Democrats on Capitol Hill now appear to have the 50 votes in the Senate to move forward on the Inflation Reduction Act. Details of that bill were agreed upon by Senators Chuck Schumer and Joe Manchin last week, but that deal needed a few last-minute tweaks before Senator Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona would agree to sign off. Well, she put out a statement last night that said, "We've agreed to remove the carried interest tax provision, protect advanced manufacturing, and boost our clean energy economy in the Senate's budget reconciliation legislation. Subject to the parliamentarians' review, I'll move forward." Joining us now, Independent Senator Angus King of Maine. He serves on the Intelligence and the Armed Services Committees. So there she has it, Senator King, and thank you for joining us this morning. She's saying, parliamentarian, this thing has to be scored, right? Because if you're only going 50 votes here with budget reconciliation, it actually does have to reduce the deficit. So that price tag you're going to get is so important. Are you confident that it's going to come in where you need it to be?
Absolutely. This is actually going to reduce the deficit. In fact, one of the provisions in the bill is to reduce the federal debt by $300 billion. So that was one of the things that Joe Manchin and I and others insisted be part of the bill. So, yeah, I don't think there's going to be any problem on the numbers side. There's some sort of in-the-weeds issues about what you can do in a reconciliation bill in terms of policy, and that's what the parliamentarian is working through this week. But that was a big deal last night that we now appear to have a final deal that you're going to have 50 votes for.
You feeling confident about the Senate parliamentarian?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, again, it's a complex process, and I can't say that every single provision in the bill is going to pass that muster. Interestingly, the process is called the Byrd bath. And it goes back to Senator Robert Byrd, who sort of invented this process. And you've got to go through this process with the parliamentarian to determine that you're really doing essentially financial changes rather than straight up policy changes. But I think it looks good. I mean, this is the same process, for example, that the Republicans used 5 years ago for the massive tax cuts for corporations. So I think it's going to clear those hurdles.
Do you think this will help Democrats in the midterm elections upcoming?
Well, I think the first thing I want to say about the bill, here's the breaking news, guys. This is a bipartisan bill. It's bipartisan everywhere but in the U.S. Capitol. The Morning Consult did a poll this week, and just going down the numbers, I mean, basically they polled all the individual provisions of the bill, and it's sort of unbelievable. Limiting annual pocket drug costs for seniors to $2,000. 72% favor, 11% against. Minimum tax on corporations, 63 to 21. I mean, the numbers are all just sort of overwhelming in terms of the general public. And I'll be honest with you, I really don't understand why the Republicans aren't jumping on this bill, because it really is. It's paid for. It reduces the deficit. It'll help make a real dent in inflation. It's good for seniors. These are things that we should have done years ago. In fact, the first bill I introduced when I came to the Senate was to have Medicare negotiate for drug prices. That was 10 years ago. So I'm really glad that that's in the bill. I think it's a big deal.
So, Senator King, I mean, but that Republican opposition, whether it's by reflex or it's simply tradition, is very pronounced. And your colleague, Senator Lindsey Graham, sent out a tweet storm last night, essentially threatening Democrats, saying a word of advice to those who support this reconciliation deal. If you expect the CR to deliver political payoff with 60 votes, you might want to rethink. If there's something you want in the deal that can't be achieved in reconciliation, if I were you, I'd get it up front. Stay tuned. Now, that's a threat, albeit from a guy who has championed reconciliation for Republican priorities in the past. What do you make of it, and what do you think it says about him? Yeah, go on.
Well, I was going to say, I don't remember him saying anything like that when they were massively rewriting the tax code and giving a huge break to the wealthiest Americans and corporations. So in any case, no, I mean, I think this is a winner. And that's not my concern, John. I'm not playing one side or the other here in terms of politics. I just think this is something the American people want. It's going to have an immediate impact. It's going to have a long-term impact on everything from energy prices to drug prices to negotiating drugs for seniors to having billion-dollar profit corporations pay their fair share. Now, I say fair share. Hell, I'll settle for any share. Right now, they're paying zero. There are about 150 companies paying zero. And so this bill says, hey, you got to pay at least 15%. How do I explain to a cop in Portland, Maine, who's paying $5,000 or $10,000 in taxes, that he's paying more than a company that's reporting $1 billion worth of profit? So I think this it not only is good policy, I think it's going to be very popular in the country.
Sir, thank you for being
Thank
with
you.
us, Senator Angus King.